Okay, about a month and a half ago, we had David Long, the author of Built to Lead, into our office in Las Vegas, Nevada. And our entire staff was blown away about Dave's strategies on building high-performance cultures, the top 10 manager philosophies, and those incredible 7 rewards principles wrapped into that amazing book. We heard so much amazing information and all these incredible stories about MyEmployees.com that, frankly speaking, we didn't believe it. So we wanted to see if Dave Long and his entire staff really were putting their money where their mouth is. So we've secretly snuck into here to the headquarters of MyEmployees.com in Wilmington, North Carolina, and we're going to do a little sleuthing around to find out if truly the owner of MyEmployees and his staff are following the rewards principles based in the book. Let's go. Let's keep it quiet. Well, at least we got the first check. He's got the eagle. Come on, let's go. Plaques everywhere. Oh my gosh. Production, keep out. Let's go. This has got to be the right place. It's amazing. What is all this stuff?
Hey, how's it going? How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm Ken Dunn. I'm the publisher of Dave Long's book, Built to Lead, from Next Century Publishing. Who are you?
I'm Josh, the production manager.
Oh,
yeah.
We found the right guy. Josh, listen, we're running around here. Dave doesn't know we're here. We're doing a little expose.
Okay.
We're about to publish the book, and what we're here to find out is, are you really living by this standard? We hope that this isn't just another sham book. Tell us a little bit about MyEmployees and what's happening here.
Well, first, welcome.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, you're at the right place. I mean, book clubs, employee of the month, once a month, trips to the lunch, trips to the local Myrtle Beach shopping. Definitely, Dave is the real deal. He definitely appreciates his employees.
So in his book, he talks a lot about some really significant pieces to keeping people along. I hear a lot about it being like family and then about recognition. I'm really surprised to hear, frankly, that inside of the recognition company that there's a lot of recognition.
Absolutely.
What kind of difference has it actually made with the people that you work with in your department?
Well, I mean, everyone takes a lot of pride in what they do, and it's very important that we walk the walk. And you know, obviously, we want to tell people how to become more successful in their business, but we have to do it here first. And we want to make sure our people here see the results of firsthand, and then they go out and go forward and push that towards the clients and the customers, and that way they're sold. I mean, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. So,
well, we'd really appreciate it if you don't tip Dave off.
No.
And I have a request or a question for you.
Sure.
Where do I find Adam?
Upstairs.
Right through here?
Right through here.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so allegedly Adam Tart is upstairs. Dave's down the hall. This is where we got to get really quiet with what we're doing, because we just don't want these guys to find out we're in here. I need to find the truth out about this book, because if this is real, and this company really is the example of the principles in this book, then we're on to something that can change the game for employees and companies all over America. Let's go. Okay, so this is where this is the executive lounge of the office, and I know that Adam Tart's office is around here somewhere. Oh, yep, there he is. Okay, we're going in. Hey, Adam.
Hey.
I'm Ken Dunn from Next Century Publishing.
Hey, nice to meet you, Ken.
So listen, Dave doesn't know we're in town.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We jumped on a plane with the team. We wanted to come down to Wilmington. We've had an amazing time working on the book with Dave. You know, the principles in this book are incredible. But you're the chief operating officer of the company. We intended to catch you off guard.
Okay.
We want to know, is it true? Are you guys really living by the principles Dave talks about in this book?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is no other option. Dave's book really is the epitome of his philosophy, and it's the way he built this business. And so absolutely, we live by it every day.
So there's lots of amazing stories in there. Of course, stories of your background and some of the other key executives in the company.
Sure.
But I think really what captures people's attention the most is there's a roadmap through the acronym REWARDS. I'm fascinated by this book club. As simple as it seems, Dave has told me in many conversations that really it's probably one of the most important pieces of the entire culture of the company. What have you seen the book club do for people around you?
Oh, wow. You know what, Ken? It has really just broadened people's horizons, right? Because it's unfortunate, but the fact is, if we didn't do something like this within the company, so many of our employees and employees out there without reading Dave's book would never be exposed to that type of material. Oftentimes what you'll find are the people that do like to read, they'll read fiction or they'll read things for entertainment, right? So we actually built a foundation and a culture here where we try to get our employees to, number one, we kind of force them to educate themselves, and we want to turn them into people that desire to educate themselves and desire to be better tomorrow than they are today.
So a scarcity mentality, somebody that is that scarcity-minded a person, they're naturally going to think that by giving people that education or opening their perspectives, that it's actually going to increase the chances of them leaving the company. But you guys have seen the exact opposite of that.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things in the business we're in, obviously dealing with employee engagement, what the research shows is that employees desperately want to be invested in. They want to work for companies that actually care about them and care about their future, right? So not to say we've never had employees move on to other things, things that maybe they were better suited for, but to a large degree, when employees see that we're willing to invest in them, buy book clubs and things like that, they love working in here. They love working for a company that cares more about them and their future than really anywhere else they would go, and unfortunately sometimes cares more about them and their future than they even do themselves. And so absolutely, one would think that by educating employees you run the risk of losing them. We're not worried about that. We really aren't. At the end of the day, we want what's best for our employees. And so if an employee comes to a point in time where they decide that, you know, moving on is what's best for them and their family, then we encourage them, we try to help them do that.
Right.
But overall, by and large, they stay with us.
So I've heard Dave's perspective on who he believes the book is for, and I know that you've probably been through the content as he developed it and as the book is being launched. Who do you think the book is going to help the most?
You know, just like our company, we deal with a lot of frontline managers, and these managers work extremely hard, and they do well at what they were trained in, but oftentimes, just like in any other profession, they're trained to do their job. And this book is for that manager that wants that extra bit of information, that thing that can really catapult them to the next level. And we believe that the book will do a lot for the manager that wants to be better tomorrow than they are today.
Wow.
If they're willing to invest some time in a quick read, it is a great read, it's a quick read, but it has some really impactful tools. If they implement that strategy, it will be very hard to hold them back. They will be a top 10% manager.
Okay, Adam, we're going to sneak around and see a few more people. Okay. You got to help me out here. We don't want Dave to know about this yet. I'll see him at the end. I realize I've broken your securities policies by getting in here, but it's just me and the boys, the whole viewing audience. So thank you very much. Yeah, it's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go. Okay, there's one more person I want to try and find in this puzzle palace. I'm looking for Melanie Greeno. Dave and I talked a lot about it in the production of the book, and I think her perspectives on this book and its ability to help other people will be invaluable. This puzzle palace, I just can't seem to find her anywhere. Oh, here we go. Corner office, of course, for the sales manager. Hey, Melanie.
Oh, hi.
I'm Ken Dunn. I'm Dave's publisher.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hey, listen, I'm sneaking around the office right now. I know I'm breaking all of the policies, but don't worry, I've got my friends with me.
Okay.
We wanted to get your perspective on Dave's book. We're really excited. We've been working on it for a long time with them now, and I think it's going to do really great. But I wanted to find out if you guys were actually working by the same standards that he talks about with everybody else. So in the role as sales manager here at the company, I guess, you run the whole sales department.
Yes.
How much is the philosophies of that book really a part of the company? Are you guys using what that book talks about internally here?
Yes. And we're always fine-tuning. So I would say one of the big things that is a push is recruitment. And that's, you know, one of his first is the recon of actually trying to get the right people in the seats.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really trying to do that. We've actually adopted several different recruitment processes to really fine-tune and do it better, to train better, to actually make those quick decisions when somebody isn't a good fit, so that it doesn't sacrifice the product and the service for the rest of the team. But all the way down, it all kind of starts with Dave. He's definitely our positive role model in that regard, as far as really instilling in, you know, that he wants us better tomorrow than today. So that's definitely been huge in my career here. And then we pass that right on down to the new hires.
So you're constantly talking to the company's customers as well as people you're bringing onto the team, as well as, and in addition to that, the staff here.
Yes.
Let's talk about the customers for a second. Or even bigger that, broader than that. Who's the book for? Who's going to benefit from reading Built to Lead?
I think it's going to benefit both employees and actual managers. if you're an employee and you're looking to actually grow and take your career to the next level, if you follow the steps in there, you're going to stand out. As a manager myself, I know just hiring is so hard to find people that really take the initiative and are willing to go that extra mile and put in extra effort. So as an employee, if you're reading this and you're actually taking these steps, you would definitely be mapping your plan to get to management. As a manager though, if you're following these actual steps and implementing the recognition, taking care of your employees, actually instilling the fact that we want them better tomorrow than they are today. We want them to be growing and learning. A lot of times, we'll hear Dave say, and it's true, sometimes I feel like I want more for you than you do.
Right.
So when you've got that from the top, I mean, that's very impactful. So if managers can actually learn that and really start to invest in their employees, the rest will take care of itself.
Okay, so last question.
Yeah.
What's it like to work here at MyEmployees?
I love it. I've been here 4 years. I started in sales, but I love it. I love the fact that I love the culture. I love the product. I love the people. I love that the product that we actually make and create and sell and service is changing lives of people out there. Sometimes it might be the only time they've ever been recognized.
So if I'm getting this right, the book really isn't just a book. It really is a philosophy that your company, Dave's company, lives by.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're ready to go confront Dave with our discovery.
Okay.
I know it's a big building. How do I get to Dave from here?
You're going to go all the way to the end of the office, down this hall, and then take a left.
All right.
And you'll dead end to his office.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Talk to you soon. Oh, they obviously got to know each other around here because there's no names on any doors. Melanie said straight down the hallway. I guess this must be it. It's the most nondescript door in the place. It would be perfect for his personality. Let's see if we can surprise him. I found the man. Here he is, David Long. Good to see you. Well, I thought I'd had a couple days off, so I thought I'd sneak onto an airplane. And after our time in Vegas together, I wanted to come down and pay a surprise visit at your company. But Dave, I got to tell you, I spent the last 45 minutes running around your building and talking to your people. I was really hoping to find the kink in the armor, but I was super impressed with everybody. You guys are actually living what you talked about in that book. See, I want to come and see if it wasn't just a book, if it really was a culture, and you've built a whole company around that.
Yeah. I mean, I found out that if you don't treat your people right, you're not going to be successful, and that's the first thing you have to do. That's foundational.
Right.
As far as building a successful company.
What made you want to write this book in the first place? I mean, now that I've been here and saw the office, saw all the people, they all rave about you. Now you're either a really great guy or you're paying them really well.
Hopefully both.
But what made you want to write that book?
Because I believe that managers, well, I'll start off with a little statistic here. For every 100 employees that ever become a manager, less than 6 or 7, or right at 6 or 7 of those people ever become a manager from that employees of 100 employees, which is a pretty pathetic number. And of those, less than 1 ever becomes promoted to the next level. So it was out of necessity. It was, we have roughly 12,000 clients across the U.S. and Canada. And of those, occasionally, when managers change, that would be the time we would lose people, because sometimes managers don't want to do what the old manager did.
Right.
So we want to help our managers, our client managers specifically, be more successful at what they do. Because if they're more successful and they know we helped them, which so many of them say we do, then they're going to remember us when they go to the next level. It's not uncommon for us to get calls from DMs once they become a DM and say, look, I want that program that I had in my store or my business. I want it for all of my stores or my business.
They might not even remember the name of the program.
Correct.
But they want
very
that
possibly.
program.
Very possibly. They just remember the 800 number or whatever that they call. And we try to stay in touch with them anyway. But I needed to write a book basically to cover the things that I saw managers, the mistakes that I saw them making.
Right.
And I wanted to try to fix that. So that's basically what it is.
So I know that you've had this company really in one form or another for most of the last 30 years.
25 years.
And
Matter of fact, next month is 25 years.
congratulations for that.
25 years.
Here's what I realized on this trip and why I'm glad I did it. This isn't a book that you sat down and did some research and came up with some thoughts to write between a couple chapters. From what I've seen around this building, I can say unequivocally there are 25 years of experience built into that book. That's everything you've done for the last 25 years.
Absolutely. Warts and all, as they say.
Yeah.
Lots of mistakes. I mean, I've made my share of mistakes, but obviously being successful as we are, we did a lot of things right too.
Right.
And I've wasted, as I said in the book, I've wasted millions of dollars on things and people that did not work out. But I have a vast amount of knowledge because of it.
Absolutely you do. So, like we talked about back in Las Vegas, the book's going to be remembered for really one thing. Most great books are. There's one or two takeaways that people leave and never forget about a read. I really believe that for people that own companies, that are managers in companies, or one day aspire to be managers in companies, and even really people that have nothing to do with business, they're all going to find something. This book is going to be a great selling book of the ages. What are they going to remember after reading it?
That it's a handbook in essence of how to be successful as a manager. It basically takes them step by step through what they need to do. It tells them about the things that they're going to face and the ways to handle those things and how it all goes back to your people. If you get the foundation wrong, the building is, as it kind of like says, build a house, a foolish man builds a house on sand.
Right.
Of course, I have a beach house, so we won't go there. but you know, that's the key, because if you don't have the right people on your team and you don't build them, you lose them. You either lose them because they're not happy and leave, or their attitude goes bad because their basic needs are not being met.
Right.
As an employer, you have to think beyond just a paycheck. And that's where most managers don't. They only think about, okay, they're doing what I tell them to do because I'm paying them.
Right.
But if that's how you're going to think you're going to have loyalty, you're never going to be successful. And I mentioned this, you know, in talking with you before, is that occasionally you'll hear a manager say, well, I'm not going to pick anybody this month because nobody deserves recognition. Now, this manager might have 100 employees.
Right.
Or 50 employees or whatever.
So what he's really saying is he's not paying attention.
And he's a pathetic manager, or she, whoever it is.
Right.
Mostly it seems guys have said that through the years more than women.
Well said.
But yeah, but that's the bottom line, is they do not appreciate and show their people that they appreciate them like they should. And that's really what it boils down to. And yes, we're an employee recognition and engagement company. Yes, that's true. But the principles that are in the book are powerful, and they apply to any business out there. I don't care if you've got one employee.
Right.
It does not matter. And someone, you know, you and I were talking before about it, well, what about companies that have thousands of employees? Well, they've got departments, they've got divisions, you know, within the company. So, I mean, you break it down to what a typical manager can handle as far as recognition. Obviously, you don't want to be the only manager who's got 100 employees. It's not going to work. So you have to empower your assistant managers as well to help you touch base with their people. And then as the CEO or the manager of the entire operation, the general manager, if you will, you have to be able to have a relationship with those people as well.
Right.
Now, it won't be as much as the manager has with them because they're dealing with them day to day. But you still have to be able to touch the lives of those people. And if you can be successful at building a bridge between you and your people, beyond the work, beyond what they get paid for, where they know that you genuinely care about them, you are going to have success, because they will not leave a person who has that attitude about them.
Well, Dave, our research is conclusive. You are walking the walk. It's been really great to sneak in on you. And to all of you that are watching this video, if you have a chance to pick up this book, Built to Lead, it will be the one book that you need to read this year and reread every year if you're an employee, a manager, or even own your own company. Check it out. Okay, so we had a chance to spend the day here at MyEmployees, and our purpose of our visit was really to talk about the book Built to Lead. We were intrigued by meeting the author and working in the production of the book, so much so that I jumped on a plane and came to North Carolina. And my last stop today is here in the Client Recognition Manager's office. This is David Strange. Dave, thanks for letting me steal you away from your work for the day, for a few minutes anyway. Hey, listen, I've had an amazing time here hanging out with the staff today and learning about the book. I wanted to talk to you a bit about your story and getting involved in this company, and then talk a little bit about the philosophies that Dave wrote about in his book. How long have you been working here for MyEmployees?
September will be 5 years.
And I understand that you didn't start as the manager of client retention. Actually, you have a different name for it. It's the manager of...
It's the Client Success Manager.
client success manager.
Yes.
You were a sales guy. You were a frontline sales manager when you first came here.
Yep, I was in sales. I started just in a regular old training class with salespeople, and of the 3 people that were there, I was the only one that made it.
And you're still here with the company years later.
Yes,
I
sir.
see every award you could possibly win in this company on your wall there. And you decided to become a manager in the company. What made you make that decision?
In the sales department, I had reached a plateau. I had accomplished the majority of things that I had looked to accomplish, and I really was ready for a new challenge. I wanted to see how much more I could grow and improve myself, and the management position really allowed me to dig deeper and see how much more I was able to grow and how much more I was able to help grow my team members.
Okay, so I didn't come here today to put a big plug in for my employees and why people should work here. I came here to find out about a book. I helped Dave to publish Built to Lead, and it seems to me that now that I've been here for several hours, that the book really is almost like a historical account of this company over the last 25 years. Have you read the book?
I have.
Of course, yeah. What's the most important things that are both between those covers for somebody that wants to read it?
Chapter 3 really stood out to me. I've actually kind of read it twice when I got to it. It really kind of stood out. Dave has a philosophy: hire the best, train them, prune, and repeat. And you gotta think, sometimes you feel like you're working with a team that's everybody is, everybody's working on the same page, everybody's working toward the same goal. And then as a manager now reading that book, you realize that everybody can always continually improve and grow and change. And sometimes you have to prune to get growth. And I'll just say it, that's one of the scariest things as a manager. Having meetings and talking about growth and improvement and hoorah meetings is fun. Pruning isn't fun. It's actually very hard. It's emotional.
Right.
Sometimes pruning is necessary for growth. So that was probably my favorite chapter.
So it's the hardest thing to do in your role as a manager, but definitely your favorite chapter to read about.
Absolutely. It'll teach you some things that everybody has emotional barriers that we get to. They make us feel uncomfortable, so we back away from them. And throughout the book, you'll find that maybe you've built an emotional barrier that, as a manager, you need to go ahead and break through. If you don't break through, you're not going to grow. You're not going to get to that next level.
Who's the book for?
The book is for anyone who feels that they aren't finished. There's more left. There's more they can accomplish. And they don't necessarily know what that is. They've maybe reached the top of wherever they're at. They know that they're capable of achieving more. They just don't know what that next step might be. Dave's book really unlocks that.
So you're actually, you have me thinking a bit bigger now. It's not just for somebody that owns a company or a manager in a company. This is even for the newest frontline employee.
Absolutely. Yeah, good. If I had this book when I started years ago as a frontline employee, this would have saved me years of time and energy.
And pain.
Yes. It could really be a cheat sheet to get to where you want to go really fast.
My name is Ken Dunn. I'm here with Dave Strange. We've hid away in his office to have a little fireside chat, and it's been definitely worth my time. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Thanks, Ken.
And like I've said many times now, Built to Lead is definitely set itself up to be a book for the ages. But it's no good to you unless the information's in your head and the book's on your bookshelf.